All right, week 3 injuries, as always, in the National Football League. Matthew, let's start with Mac Jones, the Patriots quarterback. X-rays are negative, but he's clearly injured.
Yeah.
The look on his face as they were carrying him physically into the locker room after the game, he's going to miss time. So what do you do if you're a Mac Jones reliant fantasy football player?
The positives here, Mike, is I don't think there's many of those people out there. You know, the fact is, no, the truth, listen, Mac Jones is a much better NFL quarterback than he is a fantasy option. He doesn't run. It's a run-heavy offense. And my expectation here is that New England would go even more run-heavy in games in which Mac Jones missed. I think the positives here are that Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson both look good today. Both scored touchdowns today. Harris got the 13 touches, 46 yards. Ramondre, 16 touches, 101 total yards. I think both guys viable flex plays in what should be a very run-heavy offense without Mac Jones.
And I'm not suggesting that anyone should, make a rush to get Brian Hoyer or Bailey Zappi, but I am fascinated by the possibility that Bill Belichick, who treats every situation as a meritocracy, would consider the rookie if he thinks the rookie can give them the lift they need for however long Mac Jones is out. And we'll find out this week how long he's going to be out. He could be out several weeks, though, with that ankle injury.
Yeah, certainly disappointing. It was a breakout game for Devontae Parker in that Patriots offense, but
yes,
not somebody you're rushing to grab on the waiver wire, especially if Mac Jones won't be there for a while.
Yeah, they didn't have Jacoby Myers today and didn't miss him because Devontae Parker had his biggest game yet as a member of the Patriots. For the Vikings, Dalvin Cook injured a shoulder that he injured last year against the 49ers in November. Missed a game, but then came back on a Thursday night and had 205 rushing yards with a harness. He hadn't been wearing the harness this year. He will now be wearing the harness again, and he intends to play on Sunday against the New Orleans Saints in London. The doctors will have a say in that, but the optimism came so quickly, and he knows his body. He's going to put that harness on, and in his mind, he'll be good as new. The Vikings offense needs some work, but Dalvin Cook was having a solid game before he went out.
Dalvin Cook's one of the best running backs in the NFL and has always been productive both in the NFL and fantasy-wise, and it just sort of underscores the importance of having Alexander Mattison on your roster if you have Dalvin Cook. We love Dalvin Cook in fantasy, but the fact is that he's never played every game in an NFL season. Ever since he's come into the league, he has always missed time, and when he has missed time recently, Alexander Mattison has stepped in and performed very well. 4 games as the starter last year for Alexander Mattison, averaged over 21 fantasy points per game, 26 touches a game, over 129 total yards from scrimmage last year. So Mattison, I think, if you don't already, for some reason, if you have Dalvin Cook, it is very important to have Alexander Mattison on your roster. And if you don't have Dalvin Cook, make sure you grab Alexander Mattison and charge the other manager in your league an arm and a leg to get him back from you.
And it's a great point. Every time he plays, he steps up. There was some talk about maybe trading him since he's in the last year of his rookie contract, but they knew they needed to keep him around. Yeah. They need that presence because at some point Dalvin Cook's going to be injured, and he steps up and he gets it done every time. David Montgomery injured today. Khalil Herbert stepped up for the Bears. They ultimately pulled off the victory over the Houston Texans. Justin Fields didn't look great, which makes it even more important to have the right running back from that roster on your roster, because I think they're going to be getting plenty of opportunities the rest of the season.
Khalil Herbert's a talented running back. When he has gotten opportunity, Mike, he has performed. Last year, he had 2 starts for David Montgomery. Averaged 18.8 fantasy points per game. He had over 110 yards in each of those games. He's a really nice running back. Understand, this is a new regime in Chicago. So, they seem to have been loyal to David Montgomery. But, I think Khalil Herbert, with his performance today, 22 touches, 169 yards, and the 2 touchdowns in relief of David Montgomery, helped them beat the Texans. And as we tape this right now, is the #1 running back in fantasy for the week. I think it sort of just opened some eyes maybe in Chicago, and fantasy managers have known this for a while. When Khalil Herbert gets some run, he is talented. He's going to be a popular waiver pickup this week. We'll see if Montgomery misses any time this week. But either at the lowest end, Herbert's earned some more playing time going forward. And if Montgomery were to miss any time like they did last year, Herbert's a locked-in top 10 fantasy running back for as long as David Montgomery's out.
All right, that is all for us. Good luck with your fantasy rosters, and we'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.